Hi, so this feels really strange to film. I had taken some time away from this little hobby that was in this process of building. So I lost someone really close to me and Ruby. So I've been taking time to support her and back to healing. So I needed this kind of community now more than ever. Yeah, it was an incredible loss, and we are healing and we are trying to move forward. And obviously, for respect from other people, I'm not going to go too much into detail about what's happened. But I just wanted to be transparent about why I abandoned it in such a strange way and where I've been. So yeah, it's welcome back. This is what we're here for, and I just really wanted to talk about. So when I had started this channel, I was going through an incredibly stressful time. I was so stressed out. So I've started incorporating little habits to try and get us through the grief, bring us some routine and some structure, and create a life that I want to live. And we can all have it. You just got to have the belief in yourself that you can do it, and it requires discipline. There is no motivation. I've learned that. With the grief, I could have chosen to say that life's changed, it's too hard, it's not something we're going to be able to manage, everything's upside down. But instead, I just tried to focus on. I've got herbal tea. I just tried to focus on the things that are going to bring joy to Ruby, especially, and make things consistent. So where I've realised that as a single parent, if I'm happy, then they're happy. If I'm stressed, then they're stressed. And that goes for just being a parent. Like, you'd have to be a single parent. That's true across the board. So yeah, when I had my last video was about a Sunday reset, and then literally everything fell apart. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't have any of those systems in place. I had to take time away from my day job and really looking within what was happening. It wasn't just surface level glow up. This was real. How do we support an 8-year-old through the grief of her losing the other person that's been there for her since birth? And she's always going to be my priority, as is Bobby. So, I had to research about bereavement, about especially in children, take that time to make her feel special and process everything. And yeah, so in the healing process of this comes the renewal process of how am I going to make things happier for Ruby? How am I going to, I can never fill that gap that's gone, but how am I going to make things as happy for her at home? Well, first of all, that's getting your shit regulated. If I'm not regulated and you're not regulated, your kid's going to suffer. And whenever you think that your child's acting out or your child's doing something, look at what you're doing first. I totally have to hold that mirror up and sort of say, is it them or is it me? Because they are our biggest, they're our biggest fans. They look up to us, and everything they learn and absorb, 99% of it is from us as a parent. So I've started to mirror these good habits and things. I've started some non-negotiables now in my life. I wake up every day and I hydrate. I have a big pint of lemon water. I drink it warm. I cannot drink cold water first thing in the morning. My body just doesn't want it. But pint of lemon water, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling energized. It really helps with your digestion. And then I've started having a mushroom coffee, which I absolutely love. I still have normal caffeine, but I really like this mushroom one. It doesn't give you that big cortisol spike, and it's got lion's mane in it. So I find that really helps with the, I work full time, so it's everybody getting out the door. Bobby doesn't want to get dressed. We're rushing for school. It's raining. The taxi's late, or we've got somebody picking us up, or we're walking, which walking while the weather was good was the one thing that I will say really, really got us out of the slump that we were in, it was like, okay, get your shoes, get your coat on. We're going to get out, we're going to go, and we're going to feel the wind in our hair, and, you know, we're going to look at what's going on outside. And that was more healing, and that prompted the other non-negotiable of 5 days a week now. I will take at least 25 minutes to 40 minutes to do some exercise. Now, I do not like high intensity exercise. It is not me. It is really not me. So I found that what helps me, and especially with mood lifting, I really enjoy hula hooping. I've got a weighted hula hoop, and I get that on and I get my music on, and I just go for 30 minutes. I will do yoga, and I'll do a yoga and tone, and Boho Beautiful, she is on YouTube, and she does some amazing Pilates and yoga videos. So you feel like you've not just stretched, you feel like you've worked out. And then I started weight training. So I got my weights out, some little hand ones, and I've got a kettlebell. And obviously using my own body weight, but I'm doing strength training. And that just really helps me feel powerful and empowered. And if you were feeling like you are stuck and there is things that you can't change, I would highly suggest moving your body, and start with 5, 10, 15 minutes, and you'll build up to it. But it is the only thing that I can say has kept me sane and keeps me sane. And when I stop exercising, I really notice the dip. So that has been, and I just got ChatGPT to write me out a little plan. I made sure that I watched some videos and just try and practice my form, but I'm moving and I'm not got any injuries and I feel better for it. So that's definitely what that's definitely one of my non-negotiables as a single parent when you're going through grief, or when you are just feeling burnt out. I was burnt out. I mean, I'm still tired. These will always be here now. My son's been poorly again this week, so second week back at work, and I had absolutely no sleep Monday night. But my next tip for you, if you are struggling with your mental health, or if you just are struggling with energy, the first thing on any glow up I suggest is go and get your blood work done. So I was feeling chronically fatigued, as I said in January in my first video, and when I went to the doctors when I was off with bereavement, I said, I'm really tired. I cannot cope. I feel exhausted physically. And they were like, oh, well, you know, you are stressed, you're going under a lot of stress. I said, this is not stress. This is something else. And she said, okay, well, I'll do your blood work then. I found out I'm completely vitamin D deficient. That my level were at 15. So that requires me to now have 2 little capsules for 7 weeks, twice a week, to get my levels back up, and then to continue to take the supplements. Now, I wasn't taking the supplements, but had I just been taking over-the-counter supplements, it may have prevented it from getting as bad, but I wasn't prioritising my health myself. If you live in England or like Norway or Ireland or wherever, Europe, where it's really cold and dark, you're really going to need your vitamin D levels checking. It's really important for your bone health, and it's the calcium absorption and stuff. So it's a really quick fix. But if you are feeling chronically ill, or like something's changed with your skin, or you're just not feeling your best, my advice is to always go to the doctor first and find out what you're working with. They're there to help you. Push. Don't let them fob you off if you feel that's what's happening. It's your right as a person to be seen to properly in the manner that you want. It could be thyroid issues, it could be iron issues. So that, if rather than throwing a load of creams and routines and, you know, expensive habits at it and pushing yourself, find out if there is something underlying. And that's where you're going to glow from within then. So in addition to this, obviously, the next thing that I've added that I would really recommend is some probiotics and prebiotics. Now, I started taking them, take them on an empty stomach twice a day, but that really helps with your gut health. And that just supports them within. But you don't want to just be taking supplements. You want to make sure that your diet, if you can help it, has all those healthy strains in it. So I really love kombucha, and I drink that. One a day is enough for you. I never know how to pronounce this. I love kefir. I don't know how to say it. The yogurt anyway, with all that fermented stuff in it. You want kimchi in your diet. You want to make sure that you're having just onions and garlic and your herbs, because they've got a lot of the probiotics and prebiotics in. And garlic, that's just amazing for you. And when you're looking at when you know that you're getting a whole diet, you probably don't need to top up, but it's just good if you're at the start of your journey to maybe boost it along a little bit. So I make sure now every day that I'm eating a rainbow plate. That's my, that's my non-negotiable. The weekends are flexible. That, by the by, it's what's going to happen with the children, and I still want to enjoy my life. But yeah, that is another thing for me. And also, I think there is, when you're looking after yourself and you're healing, a lot of people can come to you, and sometimes that's just not what you want, and sometimes it really is. And I think human connection is good. It's good to have the self-isolation and reflection for a bit, but after a bit you kind of need that to anchor you back to the real world. So I enjoyed people telling me about their days rather than them asking me how we all were, because there wasn't much that I could, there wasn't much to say. Grief is grief, and we have to go through it and we have to feel it. And just because someone isn't, outwardly all the time looking like they're grieving, they are still grieving. And they're just, your brain goes into protection mode. That's what happens with children. They will sit in their grief for a bit, and then they'll go back to playing. And I had to learn all this, that it was normal and it was healthy for a child. So I just wanted people to tell me about their little nuanced things that were going on in their life, and they felt like it was insignificant, like they shouldn't be burdening me with it or boring me with it. And actually it just reminded me that we're still here. My nose is going bright red, by the way. I don't know what. I'm having herbal tea and it's quite hot. So I've got really sensitive skin. I flush really easily. I've got no foundation or anything on, hence why I've got big bags. And you can see, yeah, my nose is going really red. Oh, that's hilarious. Do you know what? It is what it is. That's what's happening. I've got sensitive skin, so that's what happens. We're not here to be perfect. So yeah, I just feel like these are the little updates. But yeah, that's what I was saying. But also with people, I feel like you have to put some boundaries in place as well. My non-negotiable now is I do not like drinking at all very much. If I'm gonna go out, it's got to be planned. It's got to be for an event, and I've got to, have no children at all for the next day or two. That's my thing. I don't want to be hungover looking after my children, certainly not. And so I went out with a friend last week for a birthday, and it was just really nice. I haven't drank in ages or been out anywhere, and I just literally had 2 glasses of red wine. We had food, and I had a cider when we got there over 5 hours, and that felt so much better. But sometimes you have to detach from people or places that are going to encourage you to go and do things like that. It's not on the path that I'm on right now. I'm 34 in 2 weeks, and it's just not. I don't want to be like that. And I feel like my skin is glowing. Like, I feel better. It's got a glow to it, because I am being more cautious about hydration and what I'm putting into my body, and sticking to routines, like doing my skincare daily and things like that. But yeah, I think some people will not like the new you. They will not like that version of you. But it's okay. You can still you know, I feel like there's a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol that humans have. They'll assume, they pressure people to drink for a start, or they assume that you're not going to have a good time if you're not drinking. Like I said, I loved to party. And it wasn't very often. I never drank in the home or anything like that. It's when I went out to have a drink. But my desire to do that is just, it's less and less because I feel good for not doing it. That's just where I'm at. But I feel like if you're stuck in that cycle thinking, I want to change my life, or I'm unhappy, or I'm grieving and I'm miserable, if you've got alcohol in that, it's really hard to ever see any changes. And that was my one thing that held me back, was, moderate partying and just not sticking to routines, getting tired, not nourishing myself, and not being honest with myself about it, and also feeling pressured by other people. You don't want to let them down, you don't want to be a bore. And actually, if you are a hoot, you are a hoot. People want you around, and it's definitely not because you're drunk. People like you because they like you, and things are more likely to go wrong with friendships and relationships when there is a lot of alcohol involved. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, don't get me wrong, I've got a party in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait to go and have a couple of drinks and have a really good time and let my hair down. That is absolutely fine. But it used to be an every Friday thing that I would feel like I needed to go out, go to karaoke, dance, sing, escape from my life. And I don't want to do that anymore. And even with such a bereavement that's happened, that's changed everything that's going to happen for Ruby and me, I feel like I already had some building blocks of a life that I already loved emerging, which has been easier to fall back on for her so that I can support her to be happier and get her through everything. And, it's about doing the best for yourself and your children. And, I have a lovely partner. I have great friends. I love my job. I spend time with my family and things like that. And just, I like to go walking now, properly. I'm used to just have to do it, but I enjoy it. And, I enjoy looking at what I'm cooking, and I've saved so much money. I quit smoking in December, and I can buy myself lots of nice things and my children and put it away for a holiday. Like, it's £300 a month back in my account. That was a huge win, to me. And I just told myself, I can do this. I'm not doing it. There was no motivation. It was disciplined. I was ashamed that I was doing it. And I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm not going to do it. And I think, I have a vape, but I'd smoked for 20 years. It's better than all that money that I was spending. And eventually, once some more routines are built, the vape will go. You've just got to give yourself that patience and that grace when you are going through life. When you can't change overnight, and nor should you want to. You should want to look at what parts of yourself you love and what parts of yourself you want to maintain, and what parts of yourself you kind of need to make peace with letting go of. And I just think that is such a healthy way to look at it. I love yoga. I've always liked it. That's now a non-negotiable for me to do because that's something that I enjoy. I mean, dopamine dressing, no one else is going to really like this, but I love it. It's me. It's a little vest, flowers, spring vibes. I got my beautiful little necklace that my boyfriend got me for Valentine's Day. It's got a pomegranate on it. No, not many other grown women this age love fruit, but I do. That's my thing. And you should stop trying to be like everybody else, and you should be like yourself. And when you start living this authentic life that you want to live, good things start happening. They do. And you're able to be more resilient when bad things happen. And that's what I've realised. you know. I'm a Sims nerd. People wouldn't think that of me. People had me as, oh, she's such a party animal. She must always be like, she's so loud. And actually, that is just not the case at all. I mean, I am loud at times, but I'm introspective and I'm compassionate and I care about humanity and the planet and other people, and, you know, I have those as well. I love clothes. I do anything to help anyone. I love music, you know. You look at those things and you're like, do you know what? Yeah, I sit on The Sims sometimes. I could play for like 4 hours. That was another thing that I didn't do though with this time. I had the one day of grieving and disassociating on The Sims for about 7 hours. And then the next day I was like, but I'd been for a walk that day. I made sure we'd gone for a walk. But the next day I said, right, it's going away. It's coming out for pleasure. It's not coming out because I don't want to not cry. So yeah, that's been my way of coping. So yeah, sorry, this has just become an incredibly long ramble that I wasn't expecting, but I wanted to come back on here. I will start learning how to edit and do everything and just whatever, but somebody messaged me saying that they subscribed to my channel because they saw my comment on a gym video and they said I seemed like a really nice person. That's the kind of community that I want to build. That's the kind of world that I want. I don't want people to feel above or below or not good enough. I create this channel to believe that you are enough. And if you want to go on a little glow up experiment, of course we want to do it. It's called growth. It's called evolving. It's not because the internet's told you to. If you don't, people that worry me the most are the people that just say, I'm okay as I am. I'm fine. I don't need to change. I'm just like this and I'm always like this. That worries me. How can you not have any self-awareness and look inside yourself and see where you could make any improvements and how your behaviours may affect those around you? So that, to me, is the type of person I don't want to be. I never want to sit here and get comfortable and say, I've done it all, I'm great, or I love this, or it's too hard, I'm not going to do it. That just is not me. So, and if that's not you either, then I hope you like this channel and I hope you like the little chit chat. And if anyone else is suffering with bereavement and supporting a small child through that, please let me know in the comments and signpost me to anything that can help, or tell me about your experiences, or let me know what kind of content you'd like me to create. You know, this is our channel. This is a glow up experiment and it is for everyone. And, you know, I really hope that I don't come across, I don't know what I've come across like. I'm just going to post this. This is just authentic. But I hope that you resonated with this and hope there's some little tips that you maybe can take away. It wasn't very structured. It wasn't structured at all. It was just me getting on chatting to the camera, because I felt like that comment that somebody wrote to me a few days ago that I saw gave me the confidence to come back on. And that's it. We need each other and we should look after each other. So yeah, stay safe, stay happy, and yeah, bye.